What's up, dude?
Oh, nothing much. It's 10 a.m. where I am, so I already got a workout in for the day and hang out with you guys.
I think you're the second person ever we interviewed who trains at CrossFit Krypton.
You've interviewed Ben.
Yeah,
Laura?
that's what I mean. Oh, that's right, Laura. We can put Laura in the pile. You actually see Laura? Laura's a real person? Okay.
Yeah. I rewatched that podcast the other day. It was pretty funny. She's got a very dry sense of humor, and I enjoyed that.
You think she likes me?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's awesome. Would you lie to me to make me feel good?
No.
That's awesome. I was at the beach. I'm in Newport Beach, California. It's like where is it? It's south of Los Angeles, probably, let's say 100 miles. I don't know if that's true, but it's south of Los Angeles somewhere. And I went to the beach yesterday, and I ran into some people I hadn't seen in years. And I'm like, hey, you want to hang out at the beach? And they said, sure. So I went down to the beach with them and Hiller and my family. And I took off my shirt, and the lady goes, oh my God, you're fat. Hiller goes, he's not that fat. I was just like, wow.
And my shirt's back on.
Yeah, no kidding.
I just threw down. I just drank more. Push it away. Damn. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, I just figured since you just wouldn't be fat. I'm like, I'm not that fat.
Oh my gosh.
If you're fat, they're gonna need a new term for some other folks,
dude. And it's even crazier, but it's consistent. 2 days ago, I was in Santa Cruz, and I was with some other friends who I hadn't seen in a while, and we're at the beach, and this lady looks over at me and my wife, and she goes, "Oh, are you guys zoning?" And I go, look at me. Do I look like I zone? She goes, no, I just didn't want you to feel bad and only ask your wife. I was like, fuck.
Damn.
Oh, God.
No love.
Yeah. I'm good though with it. It's good. It's like therapy.
Yeah.
What made me think about that is that you've used that for motivation, right? People critiquing your body.
Yeah. Especially, it's funny. We even in the gym, people will come by, and how CrossFit is. People come by and encourage you. Oh yeah, you're doing a good job, and that doesn't do it for me. I like it when people call me a fat piece of shit.
Yeah. Some fetish support.
Well, negative coaching.
Yeah. It helps me a lot to kind of prove people wrong. So,
Danny, how old are you?
I'm 33.
Oh man, you're so. I found CrossFit at 34, so a year older than you are.
Yeah.
And when did you find CrossFit?
I've known about it for years. I grew up in Chesapeake, so and like a mile and a half from Krypton, so I've always driven by it. I remember watching Ben in 2015 win the game, so I always wanted to try, but it was like super intimidating. It was always one of those when I get a little fitter, maybe I'll go try that. But
yeah,
I finally started in. It was during the Open last year. I think the day before 22 or 21.2 is when I started at Krypton.
Which was 21 point. What year is that? That's 2021, since it's 21.
Yeah.
So you've been doing it just over a year.
Yeah, about 18 months. Yep.
It's a trip. When I think of CrossFit Krypton, I don't think of it as like like an affiliate where people train. I just think of it as this place where Ben Smith is.
Yeah.
It's a trip. But then when I see your pictures, it's a full blown, like, awesome, insane, flourishing affiliate.
It really is. I mean, they got classes from 5 a.m. all the way to 7 p.m. So yeah, it's always packed, and I really love it there. The environment's incredible. I know I started on a Thursday, and it was like, man, I don't know if this is for me. And then the guy behind the front desk told me to come back on Friday because they were doing Friday night lights. And so I came in and saw everybody kind of cheering everybody on during Friday night lights, and that's when I was hooked immediately.
Hey, did you do it that Thursday when you first came in? Did you actually do it that Thursday?
Yeah, I did my first workout that Thursday, and I'm like, dude, I don't know if this is it. And then
I
came
thought he
back.
was like, hey, not today, tomorrow. And I was like, oh, that's a mistake, because if you have the guts to go in the first day, you better
Got it,
get that.
yeah.
But they got you working out. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What was your first workout?
It had thrusters. I remember that. And I ended up doing it with a PVC pipe.
Yep.
And couldn't even, break parallel on my squats and all sorts of crazy stuff, man. A buddy sent me a video of me doing it like a couple months back, and just watching that, it was insane. Seeing where I started.
Off topic a little bit. I saw a video the other day of Noah doing Fran, which looked like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And someone goes, hey, I don't think I could do that with just the bar. And you know what I was actually thinking? I'm wondering, and I have great pull-ups. I could probably do 30 pull-ups in a row, maybe even strict, but I don't know if I can do that with a PVC pipe and jumping pull-ups.
Yeah.
I need to try that.
It was, I watched that.
2 minutes is nuts. That's a lot of movement. Yeah, that's a lot. That is a lot of movement. Hey, I think it would be a great workout with jumping pull-ups and just a PVC pipe. Just get, I mean, I'd have to be warm still to move that fast, but
yeah,
it's nuts.
Yeah,
have you ever seen, do you know what the fastest time, Sousa, is? Have you ever seen someone do Fran with jumping pull-ups and PVC?
I've never seen him do it with jumping pull-ups and PVC. No.
I wonder what the record time is for that. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll film that. Maybe that's what I should be when I get back home for my workout. See if it's possible to break the 2-minute barrier doing that.
I think you will.
You do?
Yeah, because I feel like mine's like crazy fast, and the fastest I've gone is like 2:32.
With the regular Fran, you've done 2:32?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Susan's fit.
Have you done a RX Fran, Danny?
No.
Yeah.
So I've still yet to get a strict pull up. It's one of the main goals I'm working towards. So I'm banded pull ups right now, and a lot of times during workouts I'll do inverted rows. But yeah, I'm still working towards the pull ups.
I got my first pull up. I was in the backyard. I was in college at my house. I think I was 24. And we were high, me and this dude were high on drugs, and he was into different drugs than I was into. He did meth and steroids. He was crazy jacked.
There's your 2-minute Fran time.
Yeah,
that's quite the combo.
But that dude taught me how to do a pull up in a tree. I wasn't on meth or steroids, but it was pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy when I got my first pull up at 24. I was like, holy shit, this is a game changer.
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm working towards. I've never done a pull up in my life, so it's definitely a big thing for me. I know I had never ran a mile all the way through until I started at Krypton. I told Ben how much I hated running, and I think he might have.
You fucked up.
He took that to heart because we do a movement of the month, and so I started in March, and the movement of the month for May was 1 mile for time.
Oh, for time?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever done a mile for time either. Like, God, that sounds so scary.
I never ran it all the way through until that point.
Did you, what was your time? Did you break 15 minutes, 10 minutes?
Yeah, I ended up getting 12 and a half minutes, I think.
Wow, shit. And you were hurt.
Oh yeah, for days. I mean, at that point, I'm still, like I was probably still 380 pounds at that point.
And how tall are you?
6'1".
That's awesome.
You said Chesapeake. What state is that?
Virginia.
Virginia. Okay.
It's right by Virginia Beach.
Okay. It's weird when I think of Virginia. So I never think of Virginia as being on the coast. I can't really in my head. West Virginia, Virginia, and DC are all just like a clump in my head. Yeah. My geographic mind. It's just like a mess. Just a.
Yeah.
But Virginia actually is on the Atlantic.
Yeah, the Chesapeake is the very southeast corner of Virginia.
And are you in your like hometown where you're born? Like that's.
I was born in Virginia Beach, and then we moved to Chesapeake when I was probably 4 or 5. I've lived some other places. I lived in Alabama for a little bit, and most recently I lived in Portland for about 1.5 years.
No shit.
Yeah.
How did you end up in Portland?
So for work, I'm a project manager in ship repair. So I was working
like boats.
Yeah, like Navy ships, U.S.
Okay.
Navy ships. So I went and worked out for a ship repair company out there. and me and the family went, and we loved it. And then COVID hit, and we didn't have any friends or family out there, and they were insane with COVID. I mean, my wife and daughter were pretty much locked up for 2 months straight. So she came to me and said, "We got to move home." So we packed it up, moved home.
Yeah, it's a tragedy that those people got that town. Portland is such an amazing place, and those
It
people
really
and they destroyed that place. I don't mean this in any way like if you haven't been to Portland, you have to understand like downtown Portland. It actually is kind of like a zombie movie. I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah.
It is the weirdest
Yeah.
group of people. I don't know what they're doing to themselves. There's nothing natural there. There's no one.
We were there.
It's so weird. It's so weird.
We were there right
So
after
unhealthy.
right after George Floyd too. So we experienced like the riots downtown and stuff where they they destroyed downtown. It was
the million white man march rioting.
It was
George
insane.
Floyd.
I'll tell you, you know that is Portland is the whitest large American city in the world.
I did know that. Yeah.
It's a crazy
Ironic.
place.
Yeah,
It's a crazy place.
Yeah, and what's crazy too is there were crazy entrepreneurs there, and so it's a big city, but there were so many young people there starting like cool shit, like just a place that serves whiskey, just a place that serves croissants, just a place that makes leather belts, and you could have that because it was still affordable living, and then something fucking happened, and
There's a lot of great businesses there too. I mean, Columbia's out of Portland, Nike, Adidas, they're all out of Portland. I mean, it's a really awesome spot. I really love that area of the world.
And they have so much fucking water, which being from California, you just see as a premium. There's a big tech company there too. Is it Microsoft or Intel?
Yeah.
Who's there?
Intel, Microsoft, they're both there.
Yeah.
Or Intel's there. Yeah.
Yeah. Microsoft, I think, is Washington.
Yeah. Yeah. Intel is in Portland as well.
When how old were you? How old were you when you started getting heavy?
I've been overweight. Looking back, I always thought that I was really big, but I was definitely overweight all through high school.
But how about in elementary school?
Not so much. I played sports and stuff when I was a younger kid. Probably middle school is when I started probably putting on some weight.
And did you do stuff like you just sit down and watch TV and eat the whole box of Ritz crackers, shit like that?
Yeah. And I think we had, fast food and stuff as kids, and we were pretty busy. My when I was younger, my dad worked a lot. My mom was a teacher, so I remember, I have one older brother, so during the summertime, when my mom was off school, we'd go to like CC's Pizza. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's a pizza buffet where it's like $4 a person. So it was cheap to take two teenage boys there.
Yep.
And my brother and I would have like an eating contest, so you could eat the most pizza.
Yeah.
So
so you did play sports as a kid. So in what sports did you play? So you were comfortable in your body as a kid?
Look, yeah, a little bit. I played So I played some baseball, dabbled in soccer for a little bit, but not a whole bunch. And then when I got to high school, I did marching band. I was in the drum line.
Wow. That's so interesting. I think I used a bike. Did you ride a bike to school? Did you use a bike for transportation?
No.
I think that's the only thing I did. That was like my saving grace. I rode my bike fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
How about Capri Suns? Did you have Capri Suns at home?
Yeah, I'm sure we did. And the little hugs, the little hug containers with the little foil wrappers that were disgusting sugary juice.
That was like Tang or something, right? It was in the little plastic.
It was like a little plastic round jug. I think they were called Hugs. I can't remember.
Hugs.
Would your parents, because my mom would try like to be like healthy, like we weren't allowed to have soda pop in the house, we wouldn't have Capri Suns, and yet I would still eat like a whole box of Ritz crackers for dinner, or anything the Keebler elves made that was like a cracker. it would say no fat, you know what I mean? And then I'd eat a fucking box that could feed like 5 people.
No, my parents were pretty good about as far as dinner goes. Yeah, those Hugs.
Wow.
Look at that
that's
marketing.
Ghetto. That
Just
is ghetto.
A little hug. Just a little
Wow.
fun.
Just a little hug. They make it sound so only 1 gram of sugar.
Well, you'd put like 3 of those down?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, we were pretty good about dinner. My parents cooked a lot, right? My dad's always been like a fisherman kind of deal. So we ate a lot of seafood and stuff growing up. But yeah, I mean, snacking, and we had sodas and stuff like that. The cookies and sodas were always available.
Do you see where it went wrong? Do you see where it went sideways?
Yeah, I think I had a little too much freedom as a kid to eat and drink whatever I wanted. And then, buffets and stuff like that. There's a Chinese buffet we ate at in town pretty frequently, once a week probably. So I think stuff like that just carried over into adulthood, where I just got consumed as much as possible.
Yeah, we don't really have too many buffets in California. I can't think of actually any.
It was
But
like
when I
hometown
remember
buffet.
where,
Hometown buffet is probably like the only one I could think of off the top of my head here.
yeah, I don't even.
But it's not a popular thing here at all.
But I can remember being places where there was a buffet as a kid. Like if somehow you ended up at a casino somewhere, or
Reno,
or in the East Coast or something.
Yeah.
I just remember as a kid, it's like, holy shit, this is heaven.
Yeah, we had Golden Corrals. They're big around here. I don't know if you know what that is.
I've heard of it. I don't think I've ever been in one.
We actually called them the Scarf and Barf.
Wow.
That's
hardcore.
I remember being a kid. There was
we had Sizzler.
Yeah,
Sorry,
go
ahead. Go ahead, Danny. Go ahead. Sorry.
We ate at a Golden Corral one time and saw a family. It was mom, dad, probably 4 kids. Ate enough dinner to where they one of them threw up at the table, which made the rest of them throw up at the table. They went and got cleaned up in the bathroom, came back, sat at another table, had dessert.
You witnessed that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
You're getting that money's worth right there.
Wow.
Right. Yeah. So from then on, it's been the Scarf and Barf.
Dude, that's a that sounds like it's a 1980s comedy, like with Chevy Chase would be in or something.
Yes, it was like what was that movie with Eddie Murphy, The Clumps?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it made me think of.
How old were you when you got self-conscious about your weight?
High school. High school was, I was always the funny kid though. So I used my humor to kind of play it off, and I was popular because of how funny I was. So, but yeah, I was always self-conscious about my weight.
And how would that show in the traditional ways? Like if the senior class is going to like the water slides, you'd be like, fuck that. I'm not doing that.
No, I would just make jokes about myself to kind of make it where nobody else could joke on me.
Yeah. And then would that make you comfortable with it? Were you cool with it then?
Some, like I do like the truffle shuffle and stuff like that. So I wouldn't have a problem taking my shirt off, but I always make a joke of it, and it would try and make myself comfortable to be around people and be like that. But yeah, it was always tough.
The truffle shuffle, that's from Goonies?
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. I guess it kind of, I guess it works too, though. It's a net positive, right? You want to get out there. You need to be free. If you have to be the one to crack the joke, if that's the way you're mitigating the discomfort, I guess you might as well do that, right? There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I would have put that effort into being more active, but I put a lot of effort into being the funny guy, just to live with being fat as opposed to trying to do something about it.
At that point, have you put on so much weight that it's stretched out your skin or your body to a point where there's no return? Has that happened by high school already? Yeah,
I was probably in a 2X t-shirt in high school, which I mean, not necessarily huge, but I was pretty big.
That's the part I as a parent, I trip on the most when I see kids who are so overweight that I'm like, okay, that kid's going to have that for the rest of his life. Meaning that body's never going to, the skin is going to be so stretched out that body's never going to be able to contract back down.
Yeah. I think you said it the other day with Ariel that I'll never be able to drive my Ferrari. You know,
Right.
I wrecked my
Right.
Ferrari. So
Yeah. And on one hand, that's okay, but parents, what should your parents done? Just not buy that stuff, not have it in the house. Like, what do you do to make sure that doesn't happen to your kid? But you also don't want to fuck your kid up, right? You don't want to give your kid a fucking eating disorder.
right. Yeah. That's it's something that my wife and I are like super conscious about with the whole eating disorder thing. But our biggest thing is to try and live by example. So yeah, we, especially at the beginning of this year, we stopped buying, we always had little Debbie's and stuff like that in the house. So we cut out as much as we could. Soda's gone. If you want a soda, it's like a 0-calorie soda. So you can have, Coke Zero, Sprite Zero. And then we just don't keep the snacks in the house readily available. And that alone has helped significantly. And then we cook at home as much as possible. Our daughter's super busy too. She stays really active. She does competitive dance. So she's in the studio like 3 hours a day, probably 5 or 6 days a week. So.
Hey, did you follow the games at all?
Oh yeah.
I think Emma Lawson, that's her background. I think, is that her? Until one of those ladies, until they were 13, they were a competitive dancer. I was like,
yeah.
I think it was Emma.
I think you're right.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's hardcore.
It is.
God,
it is.
How old's your daughter?
10.
That's awesome.
Yeah. She's like really good at it. I know a lot of parents probably say that, but she competed in like a higher age group this year and won pretty much every competition she went to for her solo. So she pushes real hard. She loves it. She works hard when she wants to get something. So we encourage it as much as possible. She sees me do CrossFit, so she'll come and hang out at the gym some nights and stuff, which is cool. She was doing GHDs the other night, which I loved. I was showing her how to do some GHD setups.
Dude, that's awesome.
Competitive cheer's hardcore too, huh?
Yeah, she used to do that before she went back to dance. Yeah, it's pretty intense.
She did what before dance?
Competitive cheer.
Yeah, and she's probably like doing her own choreography too. By that I mean like you can walk into the living room and she'll be in there just dancing, making up routines and shit.
Anytime music's on, the kid's dancing. Like
yeah, that's awesome.
You can't stop her from dancing. It's relentless.
I need to get my kids into dance too. What would you recommend they start? Because they dance like crazy. They dance every day, same shit. But what would you start them in?
Ballet is the foundation of everything. I know it's like
they did ballet for a little bit. But after a year, I couldn't see any fucking progress.
It's tough. It's really tough. But she's like, there you go. She went to nationals for the first time this year and won nationals.
Wow.
Yeah, she's a monster. She's a beast.
Look at that trophy. It's like as big as her. How cool
it's
would that
be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I never had any trophies, didn't really play. So she's got one that's as tall as her.
Man, I made her a wall in her bedroom that is like all of her awards from this year, and she already ran out of wall space.
Wow.
Just from
does she love her awards?
Yeah, she does. She's
my kids
super
love
proud
that
of them. Super proud of them.
My kids love the awards. So you're and did you just stop exercising? Was there a point? What was the heaviest you got?
455.
And how do you know that?
So we went when we were driving back from Portland to here when we were moving back. We stopped in Vegas for a few days, and we went to that Heartbreak Grill, I think it's called, on Fremont Street. And it's like if you're over 350 pounds, you get to eat for free.
Yeah.
Someone sent me that the other day. I don't know if it was you. Someone sent me a picture of that.
So I stepped on the scale and it was 455, and we were intending to go in and get a burger. And when I saw that number, I was like, no, I'm not eating at this place.
What do you think about that? So no one who goes there and weighs 350 like that. So was that heartbreaking to you when you got on the scale? Did like something moved inside of you?
I think that was the start of it. Yeah, that was the catalyst. But it still took a little bit, right? We moved back here in July of 2020, and then I had to go to San Diego for work with my new job here. And I spent like 6 months in San Diego, and it was probably November of 2020 when I started like really working out and stuff.
450.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What kind of car did you drive at the time?
I have a little, I have a Ford Focus, the hatchback that I drive, and then my wife has a Ford Explorer.
So at 450, you have to have the seat all the way
back.
It's laying down.
No. So the Focus was surprisingly big, but the seat's all the way back, and the steering wheel is pushed all the way in at 450.
I can't even. Do you need walking assistance at 450?
I didn't. Surprisingly, I got around pretty okay. I mean, I still went up on ships and stuff, just not quite as frequently as I did previously in my career. But yeah, I couldn't, crawling into tanks was a big thing. I couldn't get inside of the manholes to get inside of tanks on ships and stuff.
Do you remember the day that happened? Was there like a day that you could, and then one day you're like, not today?
Yep. I remember I put on some coveralls, and I went to the ship to go check some work that got done. And I started to crawl in like I was just going to be able to hop right in, no problem. And then I literally could not fit through the hole. And I'm like, don't remember this being these tight. And I was like measuring I remember measuring the manhole to see if it was like a different size on this one ship or something, because I just couldn't believe that I wouldn't fit.
Where do you get clothes when you're 450? Where do you get pants and underwear and shit like that?
So I got Duluth Trading in Oregon was a place I shopped at a lot. They had like these fire hose pants that were like real stretchy that I would wear. And then like Walmart's pretty good about having 3X, 4X size shirts.
So basically, there's a whole market. There's a whole market for it.
Yeah, there's another store called DXL. I think Destination Extra Large. It's for big and tall folks, and I had some 5X shirts from there at one point. That was the biggest shirt I ever wore was 5X.
When I see someone shorter than me, it's kind of like weird. Not. I mean, I see some women and kids.
How tall are you?
Like 5'5". Like I see some. I'm like in the. I'm like in the. What percentage am I in? I think I'm like in the. I want to say 16%, but I think I'm lying. I think it's like 12% of men are shorter than me.
You're in the top percentage for CrossFitters, though, so you should be really good at CrossFit.
Right? That's the only reason why I do CrossFit, so I'd be tall. But like, it's always like if I see someone shorter than me, it's like an Asian woman or something. Racist, but it's the truth. And like cats and dogs are shorter than me. But
cats and dogs. Yeah.
But when I see someone shorter than me, like, and I'm talking to them, I notice. Like, I'm just like, I'll be like, oh, like, especially if I'm looking down, it's weird as fuck. When you're 450, and I assume it's like that for tall people. I'm assuming like once you get over 6'6", like you see someone taller than you, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, it's got to be weird, right?
Yeah.
It's like two black dudes seeing each other in Iceland. They're like, what? Did you? Is it like that when you're 450? Like, are there other 450-pound people?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And like, do you see them and you're like, oh fuck, that's a 500er?
Sometimes I watched. I would watch my 600-pound life on TLC. It kind of made me feel a little bit better about myself.
Hey, does your brain get fucked up at 450?
What do you mean?
Those people I've never watched that whole show. But those people, something seems damaged. Like their intellectual capacity. Like, I don't know if it's like pressure on the brain from the fat on the head, or if it's just a crazy hormone imbalance, but they seem like obviously I don't get this vibe from you, but like they seem like some of the, like they seem dumb, like something's broken.
Yeah, I think
like I used to work in a home for mentally disabled adults, and there's a little bit of that component to it.
I don't know if you get dumb because of being fat, but maybe I think like maybe lower IQ people might be more susceptible to it right? Because
it maybe not even anymore since it's just so prevalent, right?
Yeah.
But you didn't feel so the other day I went somewhere. I went to a cafe with someone, and I hadn't been to this cafe like in 3 years, and I ordered pancakes. And it was fucking crazy. And the dude I was with was like, "You're gonna eat those?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Dude, you're gonna be asleep in an hour." And it really was like that. Like a couple hours later, I was like, whew. I was like, had to like, oh. So if you're 450, you must go through that. Like that's kind of, I guess, maybe what I mean. Like mentally, you're just in this. You must be in this crazy roller coaster, right? Hormonal roller coaster.
Yeah. Food was a weird thing. I don't remember sitting there feeling like, oh man, I'm 450 pounds, but looking back, I can see it. And it was like, dude, you were enormous. But I would, I'd pick up food on the way home for like my wife and daughter and I and stuff, I would always order extra and eat it on the way home kind of thing, and then get home and have a meal there. Right. But, the math alone to sustain 450 pounds of how much I had to consume is just absolutely insane. But I mean, it was like I ate nonstop.
If I saw you, I saw a lady the other day at the beach. She was probably 6'3", and she probably was like 230, 240.
Was it that one chick again that we saw last time in Newport that you wanted to be friends with and like?
Oh no. This chick wasn't that big.
Okay.
No,
But
I did do the exact same thing. And my wife didn't even appreciate it. Whenever this lady would get up and walk down to the water, I would get up and walk down to the water too, so I could stand next to her. This lady carried the weight amazing. Like I thought she looked great for being 50 pounds overweight. She's in a bikini. It was nuts, but she was huge. And I just wanted to stand next to her, just like to make like a mockery of the whole thing. Like, look at this little man next to this giant woman. But my wife, I was like, did you see that? My wife was like, no, what? I'm like, the fuck? Every time she gets up, I go stand next to her. So I look at the little man. But she didn't appreciate it. Did you ever use the carts, Danny?
No, I refused.
Yeah, you had kind of a disdain for them. Like, fuck those people. Like, I'm not doing that.
I don't think I did then. I sometimes I do now. I catch myself doing it now. I see people riding around in those carts, and I try and be considerate. Like I try and look at them and say, hey, maybe they got something else going on that you can't see. But I got called fat phobic recently, and I think it is actually kind of a good describer for me at this point.
I'm going to come back to that in a second. The carts are kind of scary, right? Because if you go in the cart, you're not coming. You like it's kind of like a one way.
Yeah, it's
one way door.
What was that movie? Idiocracy, where everybody ends up like in the little weird chairs rolling around and stuff.
I know what I saw Idiocracy. I don't remember it there, but I believe it. But definitely Wally World.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And the kid falls out of the cart, and the robot comes and puts him and his soda back in the cart.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird that it's real?
Yeah, that's real, literally real. It's happening. Yeah.
There's this thing. I'm gonna say this, and it's it's for me. It even seems batshit crazy. But there's this. This article came out recently, MSNBC or CBS something, and they're saying that climate change is what's led to childhood obesity, and it's fucking hilarious. It's fucking batshit crazy. But here's what I think the real truth is, and I think there's a truth to this. I think that obesity has led to not climate change, but I think obesity is an eco disaster. I think obesity might be the world's largest eco disaster, and it's not, and no one wants to say it. I think like dialysis centers might be the largest consumers of water of any business on the planet. They just suck down water to perform dialysis on people. And when I went to Disneyland and I was surrounded by people who were all over 300 pounds, everything that they consume 5x what I did, 5x the amount of paper cups, 5x the amount of napkins. Their clothes were bigger. And I'm just like, wow, these people fucking use a shit ton of fucking global resources.
Yeah. Yeah. Food. I mean, you consume way more food. Yeah.
And just the waste they make. And it's like someone could be like, hey, you're being an asshole. But don't make me be an asshole. It's just the math, right?
Yeah.
It's just the math. So you never get into a cart, and you said you knew of CrossFit back in 2015, but did you think that those people were weird at the time? Like, fuck, those people have like issues, like they're obsessive about their weight or they're working out and like something must be wrong with them. Did you have some sort of stigma?
I don't think like that, but I did have like, a lot of people that would say that it's, dangerous. And that was probably the most thing that I heard is that, dangerous and you're going to get hurt if you go and do it and this, that, and the third. So it was always kind of intimidating. And then of course it was always, everybody you saw, especially Krypton, is like stupid fit. So it's super intimidating, walking into a gym with 20 people that all have 6 packs, 8 packs.
Yeah.
Were you able just to walk in your first time or do you have to do like a little flyby? Because for me, even when I was going to an actual CrossFit affiliate, I had been doing it in the backyard for a little bit. I remember looking for it, driving, like trying to find the building, seeing the group of people that were running for a 400-meter warm up at me. And I was like, screw this, I'm out of here. And I just turned and I just left. And it took like another week to get back. Were you able just to go in or how was that process?
So you can see it from like one of the main roads in Chesapeake. You can see Krypton and there's a big sign on it that says CrossFit. So I drove past it a few times. But yeah, the first time I pulled in the parking lot, I went right in.
No shit. That's amazing. That story that Souza told is I've heard that story a dozen times where people pull up in the parking lot and will literally, I mean, I think it was Chuck Carswell who's told the story a couple of times where he's had to, and I know Greg's had to do it where you have to go in the parking lot and like, be like, hey, to something like,
I've done that.
Get out of your fucking car. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
You didn't do that. You just, and were you tripping? By the time you walk from your car to there, you're already sweating.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, I can't remember exactly. I do remember sitting in my car for a while. I got there, like an hour before the class I was going to do, and I sat in the car for 30, like just fighting myself.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, I had already started kind of working out too, though. So I started working out in like November of the previous year. So I'd been going to the regular gym, doing my own thing, kind of just walking on the treadmill and stuff like that. But it was still super intimidating.
Did you have any harebrained issues or ideas before, like okay, I'm not going to eat for 3 days and I'm going to stay on a treadmill for 24 hours? Like, did you start coming up with harebrained plans? I mean, not stuff you actually executed on, but
no, I was pretty smart about my nutrition early on, and then I got kind of lazy with it last year. Because I figured that if I was working out enough, then it wouldn't matter too much. So I actually last year, probably the last 4 months of last year, I put a little bit of weight back on. Even go to CrossFit every night, but we'd go out with some dance parents pretty frequently, and I was drinking a lot. So beginning of this year, we changed our diet, stopped buying all this bad stuff, and I quit drinking.
What were you drinking? Beer or?
Yeah, a lot of beer. We'd go to breweries are pretty big here, like little microbreweries and stuff. So we'd go to breweries 2-3 times a week during the summer, and I was 6, 7, 8 beers a night kind of thing.
When you started the journey, so really the journey started in November of 2021 or even the year before that?
No, it was November 2021 or 2020, November 2020.
2020. Okay. And so there was a year of like, hey, you do it on your own, and then built the confidence, sit in the parking lot for an hour. Any pushback from your family or friends? Anyone who didn't want you to lose weight, like they wanted to keep you as who you were?
No, not at all. Not at all. Everybody's been super, super, super encouraging, and it's been good.
Any of it bleed off into other people? Your wife, your friends, your siblings?
Yeah. My wife for sure. Especially the nutrition side, right? I think this year she's probably lost 55 pounds just from eating right.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And awesome. she'll come to CrossFit occasionally. Everybody at our 7 p.m. class. I always do the 7 p.m. class because it's like all the degenerates and So we all get along really well, talk shit to each other and really we have a good time. We're actually in the middle of like a small competition, like a 7 p.m. CrossFit games where we're doing like a 5-week thing where we're competing against each other. And it's gotten kind of wild. But yeah, she'll come occasionally and they try and talk her into it. But yeah, we have a really good time at class. So I think that makes it
I'm not gonna.
There we go. Okay, we were both trying to bring this comment up at the same time, and it kept.
Yeah, if you go look at my story on Instagram right now, one of the categories we get judged in for this competition is like creativity of how the team dresses. So me and 2 other guys wore sports bras and short shorts last night.
Oh, awesome. Hey, what would you say to people who?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, that's brilliant. Hey, so these guys mean a lot to you.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
There's days that you go in just to see them.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't want to go. What are their names? Those 2 dudes?
So the guy in the teal shorts, that's Will. And the guy in the middle there is Phil.
So you'll be like, fuck it. At least I get to it's like going to school. I guess I remember being in school. You might not want to go, but at least I'm going to get to play kickball with Phil.
Yeah. So Phil and I work out a lot together. Will is like stupid fit and so strong, so he's a little bit ahead of me. But not that Phil isn't. Phil's still ahead of me, but we work out a lot together. We push each other, which is a lot of fun. But yeah, those guys, and there's a few others for sure that like it makes it really easy to come back. Like you don't even have to think about it.
It's a trip. Go ahead.
All the gyms like that, to be honest with you. I mean, everybody there is just like so when I did the walk where I put the 150 back on, I had like 40 people join me that like I gave them a day's notice and they were like, yeah, we'll do it. Let's go.
Tell me about that. Tell me like that in excruciating detail. I want to hear that, like how that idea popped in your head. And 150 pounds is crazy. You walked a mile with 150 pounds on you?
Yeah. So I put the 20-pound vest on and then in that ruck, I had 130 pounds of dumbbells.
Wow.
Which was a miserable way to put it back on, by the way. It was absolutely like trying to, like I was bent over most of the walk because it was just a miserable way to carry the weight.
How did that idea come?
So Will actually suggested it, because I hit 150. I'm like, dude, I hit 150 pounds of weight loss. Like this is
so you're 300 pounds here. Are you 300 here? 305?
305. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, you should, maybe drag a sled or carry some kettlebells and do the ruck. And that guy right there in the middle, actually, Josh, he did 150 pounds too. And that's like his freaking body weight.
He looks like Heber kind of with short hair.
Mm-hmm. It does.
How did you, so that guy, Phil, suggested, holy shit, it is Heber. That guy says to you, hey, you should put on. And are you like thinking, you just right away say, oh yeah, that's a cool idea. Let's do that tomorrow.
Yeah. Will's pretty good about pushing me to do way better with myself. Will pushes me pretty hard. And so he's like, hey, you should try this. I'm like, yeah, bet, let's go. Let's do it. And so I think that was on like a Friday, maybe. I was like, or on a Thursday. And so I posted, I said, hey, I'm going to do this on Saturday after the 9 o'clock class. We do a 9 o'clock class every Saturday. It's like a pretty crazy partner workout too. So I was like, anybody that wants to hang out after the 9 a.m. and do this walk with me, we're going to walk a mile. I'm going to put 150 pounds on and I'm going to see how it felt to be like this.
And what's Ben say? Is any part of Ben like, no, you're not doing that. You're going to hurt yourself.
Ben gave me the rucksack.
Oh, shit.
Of course he did.
And
2 guys help you put that on?
No, I stood it up on some jerk blocks and put it on.
And when you put that on, are you immediately like, oh, this is fucking not a good idea?
I walked one lap around the gym, like inside the gym. And I was like,
yeah.
Holy shit. Like, how did I survive like this? I mean, granted, It was distributed differently, but yeah, there you go. Huge.
Damn, dude, look how much older you look too. when
Yeah,
you're
that's
that
what
big.
that's the first thing I noticed too.
You look older than me.
Yeah,
Fuck.
that's a 4X hoodie. So
Wow.
When you put that on, do you ever take it off?
no, I walked the whole mile with it.
Did you sit down?
Nope. If I wanted to rest, I'd bend all the way over and let it kind of rest on my back some, so it wasn't pulling me straight back. But no, I walked the whole mile, and then Josh was moving kind of slow because 150 is a lot for him, right? So
Yeah.
I was actually the first one to finish, and I was, and Ben was like, "Man, that was fast." I said, "Well, dude, I've been training for this for 33 years.
Yeah.
This is my workout right here." And so I put it down and ended up going back and finishing the walk with some of the other guys.
Do you know your time? Do you know your time? Under 30 minutes?
It was like it was right around 30 minutes.
My goodness. And so look at that lady in the red shorts. She got a dumbbell on her back.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, both those ladies do.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
one in front's got a weight vest too.
People dragging sleds and
Oh yeah.
Will's crazy ass was carrying kettlebells, which is just absolutely. He's like like Liver King does that
Yeah.
that barbarian or whatever he does.
Mhm.
Did you cry?
No,
No,
not then.
not that day.
No.
Did you ever cry? Going back to when you were heavier, like 300, 400 pounds? Did you ever just like, what the fuck have I done?
Yeah. So I moved my wife back here and daughter in like July of 2020, and I had to go back to Portland, and I had to stay there until September
For work.
For work. And that was because that was like after I had done the heart attack grill thing, and so that was a pretty dark 2 or 3 months for me.
In what way? It seemed like an insurmountable task. I'm 450. I'm just doomed.
Yeah, and that and all like the furniture was out of our apartment that we were in, so I had like a air mattress on the living room floor and a TV, and just I was alone, so I'd go to work and then I'd come home and close all the blinds and just sit in the apartment and do nothing.
Did you ever become suicidal?
No.
Not an option. You got kids.
Yeah. But that's never even been a thing for me.
When you are tempted, do you have a go-to, like in AA, it's like, okay, I just need to go 1 minute. I just have to not have this drink. I don't need to worry about I just need to do 1 minute at a time, 1 day at a time, 1 second at a time. Is it like that at all with food? Yeah.
Now,
or even then at any time.
Now I can be pretty forgiving, but I if I want to eat like a cheeseburger or something, I'll have a cheeseburger, but I avoid fast food as much as possible. And if we do fast food, it's usually like Chick-fil-A because you can do pretty good at Chick-fil-A. So,
but to be 450, you have to be doing some crazy shit.
Oh,
you have to go to Safeway and buy a cake and eat it, right?
No, so I was never a sweets guy. I was always like a savory person. So if I would go to like Wendy's and get like a spicy chicken sandwich and then like 2 Dave's doubles, and eat like 2 giant burgers and a giant spicy chicken sandwich and stuff.
And a milkshake.
Yeah, Frosty.
Yeah. And fries.
Got to dip the fries in the Frosty, man. Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. McDonald's, I'd always get like 3 McDoubles, 3 McChickens. That was like a big, and so like I was saying earlier, I would eat like a McChicken and a McDouble on the way home, and then have the 4 at home.
The thing with fast food, and I wish I could remember, there was when Greg was doing the those kind of medical summits, they called it Derelict Doctors Club. He would have all these experts come in and talk about nutrition. And if you just drank the shake by yourself, you were fucked. If you ate just the fries by itself, you were fucked. If you ate the hamburger by yourself, you were okay. But there was something about mixing the way they cook hamburgers in those fast food joints and mixing it with fries and a shake. You have all 3 and you have a fucking dumpster fire.
Yeah.
The way the body would, I wish I could remember. It's nothing that sophisticated. It's just my brain's not operating so good right in this second. But it was a disaster. Like for anyone who's out there who's still eating fast food, like do not get the fucking milkshake and fries. Like do not. Just get the fucking hamburger. Do not get the milkshake and fries. It is so fucking bad what it does to you metabolically.
Yeah. Yeah, it is bad. And one of the big things I learned like at the beginning of this year was how bad alcohol is for you when you eat that kind of stuff, because your liver breaks down fat. So if you're eating the fries and stuff, your liver's working to break down fat. But if you follow that up with alcohol, your liver starts breaking down the alcohol and doesn't work on the shit that you're eating.
I think I heard that also. Basically, your body views alcohol as a poison and gives it a number one priority.
Yeah.
When it's in your body to get rid of it, and it basically fucks up all your other metabolic.
Right.
Slows recovery from workouts and stuff like that too, for that same reason.
That sucks. Drinking's so fun.
I know you guys like coffee, so shout out Texas Street Coffee. I saw JB in the comments, that the guy that does the podcast with Ben, JB.
Oh yeah.
He's got a really awesome coffee shop here. They open in one of the breweries every morning, and it's good stuff.
What's that guy's name again?
JB Anderson.
JB Anderson. Yeah, I like him. Every time I listen to those two, I wish they were. Well, I shouldn't say I wish they were. I don't know if I'd listen to more, but they're casual podcasters too.
Yeah, they are.
But they're so fucking good. If they did it regularly, I think everyone's kind of blown away because Ben is such a quiet man. We don't hear him. He hasn't been in the limelight a lot. But now I think people really respect his opinion and thoughts on shit like a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're both pretty busy guys too. I know JB does a lot of work with like Young Life and stuff like that. So, but yeah, they're both great dudes. JB was my judge in the Open this year, and it was a whole lot of fun. He was talking about how much it fired him up. I did 22.2 RX, the deadlifts and burpee ones, and I absolutely murdered myself, but missed the score I wanted to get by like 5 reps. So I ended up redoing it 2 days later.
You should have me judge you. I totally give bro reps. I totally give bro reps.
That was for negotiation too.
Yeah, and I'll defend it to the death. Like if like Hiller made a video of you, like, hey, I'd
Just
be
go
like,
to
yeah,
war.
so what? Fuck off. Yeah, fuck off. Yeah.
I don't want bro reps though. So yeah,
I'd give. Then I'm not your judge. I give total bro reps.
I want to get better at the sport, and I want to, that's like my goal now is to be better at. I want to be good at CrossFit. So
you're a better man than me.
I want people to call me out and say, hey, get your ass lower in that squat, or.
I'd do that, but if you didn't jump over the bar and you just stepped over, I'm good. Good.
I mean, that was basically the standard this year anyway. So
I'm good. Or if you're doing handstand push-ups and you can't get your feet over the tape mark, fuck off. If I see your elbows lock out, you're good.
Yeah.
Good. Bro rep. I got my own. I got my own rules.
I gave a bro rep out this year though. It was
you're a good dude.
Don't throw Dustin under the bus here.
No, not Dustin. Not Dustin. There's a coach at Krypton. I think she competed team at one point, Lindsay, and she's probably as tall as you, Sevan.
Yeah,
but
big girl.
She's intimidating for being such a little stature. So she came down her wall walk with her hand behind the line. And I was like, watch your hand, maybe.
Yeah.
Don't hurt me.
Fuck off, Danny.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I'm on 5.
Yeah, I try and seek out things that I hate that I know I need to get better at. Right. I just recently started running a lot more. I go to we do running club every Saturday. I didn't go today because I wanted to do the workout before talking to you guys. But usually I do running club on Saturday and go do the 9 a.m. workout. But there's only one way to get better at things. So for me, I want to know that I'm doing bad so I can fix it, and then I'm going to work on it a lot harder to try and get better at it.
What about running at 300 pounds? What are you now? You're 300 pounds now?
298 as of this morning. So I just broke the 300 mark a couple of days ago. I plateaued for a while, which is a weird thing for like a weight loss journey. I hit 305 probably a month or two ago when I did that walk, and it took me a while to break that 300 mark. I just kept fluctuating from like 301 up to 307. And that, I think that kind of stuff like messes with people when they, you can see my wife on the left picture there, and then on the right picture, she's
55 pounds is no joke. That's a bag of dog food.
Yeah.
So tell me that. Go into that more. You were saying about how it's that's a great picture of you on the right.
Yeah, you're aging backwards, getting younger.
Yeah. What do you mean it's a weird thing? Can you explain that to me? Like demoralizing or frustrating or?
Yeah, it's a mind fuck, man. Because you're like, okay, I'm still doing the same stuff I was doing a month and a half ago. Why am I fluctuating in weight? And I think homeostasis has something to do with it. Like your body gets comfortable at like a certain size and stuff, and so it's almost like it fights you on losing at a certain point. And it's one of those things that you kind of got to stick with it. My mindset losing weight has been kind of different, right? I haven't been focused on weight loss necessarily. It's just like an observable metric for me. I've been focused on being more fit, being more active, eating right, being a good example for my daughter, and the weight loss comes with it. So, but when you're constantly using that weight loss as a metric and it just doesn't change for a month and a half, it messes with your mind. It makes it tough.
So the emotional motivation is your daughter. Is it as simple as like, I just don't want to, I need to stay alive for her?
100%. I want to walk her down the aisle one day. I want to see her graduate high school and go to college if she wants to. She wants to be on Broadway. So if she makes it to Broadway, I want to go watch her at Broadway.
Right.
I want to see grandkids maybe, if that's in the cards. But also I want to just show her how to be healthy so she doesn't have to deal with the same shit that I'm having to deal with right now.
Does a 10-year-old girl notice? She's 10, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Has she commented on how her dad's shrinking?
All the time.
What does she say? Would you remember her first observation?
Yeah, she notices. She doesn't really point out the weight loss as much until she sees like old pictures. Mm-hmm. But she notices the going to the gym and eating right and things like that. And then like out of nowhere, a few months back, it was like she was like just randomly started always getting Diet Dr. Pepper or Coke Zero and stuff. And so like after like a week of it, I'm like, why aren't usually if we go out to eat, you're gonna have like a regular soda because it's like your one time to do it. And she's like, well, you always do it. So that kind of stuff.
Does the caffeine spin? I've never given my kids caffeine. Does that spin your daughter up? If I gave my kids caffeine, I think they might explode.
Oh shit!
We were bad with what we allowed her to have at a young age. So.
She doesn't drink. Does she drink coffee?
She has.
Wow! Like before a dance competition?
No. So she likes to make a little concoction she calls milky coffee. That's probably.
Yeah, me too.
90% milk and creamer and 10% coffee.
Oh man.
But yeah, she decaf sometimes, stuff like that. I try and avoid it as much as possible now that I'm more conscious about what we put in our mouths.
You just have one. You have one daughter, no other kids.
Yep.
Yeah. If it's fucking nuts at my house with 3 boys.
I bet
it is absolutely fucking nuts. It would be a crazy experiment to like give him some espresso beans or something, chocolate covered espresso beans, and see what happened. Yeah. And just don't tell my wife. She's like, I don't know what's wrong with the boys right now.
They're 10 out of 10.
Hey, dude, when they saw Hiller, they fucking just attacked him for 5 hours. They just were on his jock, punching him, grabbing him, wanting to feel his muscles, climbing on his back, like they do with you, Souza.
Are you just saying that to make me jealous? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, probably. It was nuts. I'm like, guys, give him some space. It was nice though when that girl called me fat yesterday. Hiller did say he's not that fat. He's a little thick in the midsection, but he's not fat. I was like, thank you. He's yoked. That
Beeler?
dude's fucking, yeah, he's yoked. He's a specimen.
Yeah, he's in good shape.
He's a specimen. You posted the what really fucking tripped me out, which made me really have to talk to you or want to talk to you, Danny, was you posted some pictures on Facebook.
Yeah, Instagram.
That was Instagram?
Yep.
Where you got the shit pulled down?
Yeah. So what I did was like, you can boost your post, and basically you like pay a few bucks, and Instagram will put you differently into the algorithm or whatever. And so I did that, and apparently I violated their terms and agreement when I went to boost my post. So yeah. And
explain that to me. What were the pictures and what was the violation? And
so it was me on the scale at 305. And then the pictures were like just some simple before and after pictures. And it was, so I got a notification. I still have it. They're like right at the top there. It says that I can't run ads. Promotions are disabled. Ads are disabled. So I still,
like because you showed your weight loss once, you're still being punished. You still can't.
Yeah. And I've like basically, and then eventually, so I asked for a review of it a few times, and eventually they took the whole post down. So the post is completely gone at this point.
And what was the post?
It was just highlighting that I had made it to 305, 150 pounds of weight loss. And the first picture of it was just like the one that you just saw. It's the scale.
Yeah.
That said 305 pounds. And then it was like a four pictures, and it was, 2 before and after pictures on each one.
One of them wasn't there a picture of like you holding, like wearing an old pair of pants?
Maybe. I think I was wearing,
like you had an old pair of pants and you had them pulled out, showing like how much like smaller your waist had gotten. I thought that's what I saw.
I had an old shirt, and I was wearing it like a muumuu, like a robe.
And it's just a generic, like, did they say anything? Like, it's just a generic, hey, you violated policy. That's all.
It said, hey, you violated policy, and then it sent me to a website about their rules on ads, and it said that I can't promote weight loss by showing before and after pictures, and I can't promote weight loss by showing a scale.
Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable.
I can't.
You could go and show your flat ass chest, get some big old fake fucking silicone titties fucking put into you.
Yep.
Have some fucking bizarre surgery that fucking women are having everywhere, that at some point people are going to look back in 1,000 years and be like, man, no wonder women are so fucked up.
Yeah.
You can show that. You can show those women injecting botulism into their fucking face. Botox. Put toxins that would fucking kill a fucking horse.
Yep. And it was right after I still
this is fucking nuts, but you can't show the fact what happened when you
I get ads all the time for weight loss pills. It's like, just take one pill a day and you're going to lose weight. And I comment on them all the time. Like, this is the biggest bunch of misleading horse shit you could possibly peddle to people that really want to, like, because the people that are going to take those are people that really want to do something about their weight. And, they obviously feel bad about themselves. And so then they see this magic pill that is promoted showing weight loss. And that's perfectly fine. We can allow that to happen. But
I don't believe in evil, but man, this is like, if there was, this feels like it. Yeah. I guess I used the word evil because I can't get my head wrapped around it. I can't fucking explain it.
Yeah.
Does that motivate you or does that hurt? Like, what did you think about that when that happened? Were you tripping? Like, were you like, this can't be real?
Yeah, I was pretty disappointed. I'm still pretty disappointed about it. Cause like, I did the promotions thing because I want to help as many people as possible that are like me, right? Even if I just help one person, like, I want to show and I think, and a lot of the people that you see nowadays are like after the fact, or I don't want to, not necessarily after, but like they've already lost all the weight, and I feel like I'm like midway through the weight loss thing, so I feel people seeing it happen would be helpful to.
Mhm.
So I was trying to promote myself to, get a little bit bigger of a following and things like that. So more people would see that it can be done without the bullshit pills or the gummies that supposedly burn belly fat in a month. And all this other shit.
They
The
really
gummy.
have that? They have that?
Gummy.
I had somebody send it to me. It was
Amazing.
If you could
Wow.
if you could eat one gummy a day and burn 20 pounds of belly fat in a month, would you do it? And I'm sitting here thinking, like, you can't target fat. You can't target fat loss, right? You lose fat. You can't just say, I'm going to lose my belly fat.
It sounds like an IQ test.
Yeah.
Take the gummy to lose the weight on your belly.
Yeah. I'm going to eat sugar to lose weight. Yeah. Yeah. Sign me up. Yeah. And so people are so susceptible to that kind of shit. And
Yeah.
I want to do what I can to kind of fight that crazy narrative that there's an easy way.
Well, I think it's still being blocked a little bit too, because when I went to bring up some windows here to have your Instagram and stuff, when I typed it into the Google search bar, including your handle name in your first and last name, your Instagram still didn't populate. I had to actually go to mine, search you from there because I was already following you, and then copy paste it into the browser, which is really uncommon if I have a first and last name in the handle. So yeah, I still think there's a bit of a shadow band on you.
Do you know how to search by hashtag on a computer?
Without clicking the hashtag first.
Oh, okay. I just did it. Okay, so
You
I just put in the
Explore
hashtag.
and then-
yeah.
Yeah.
I put hashtag weight loss just to see.
Oh, what happened?
Yeah. So this is just totally random. I'm going to bring this up. Okay, Danny, ready?
Yeah.
And you tell, is this legit? Like so would could she boost this? Is this not allowed?
It's also selling a product.
I mean, technically that would not be allowed.
What the fuck?
Before and after picture.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that looks like selling black latte drink mix.
Yeah. I wonder if it has to be, because yours wasn't attached to a product, right? It was just you. I wonder if that had something to do with it.
I didn't mean to promote that, but so wow. So because this is that would be like fat shaming, because you're saying, Danny, you're a criminal. I'm so proud of you. I know, me too.
Bro, that guy's like, I think he's in his 60s, and he is one of the fittest guys at Krypton. It's dumb.
Jerry Becker. He's got a great name too. Hey, I bet you that dude could fight.
He could run. I know that.
Look at, when your last name's Becker, elementary school's a son of a bitch.
Oh, look, Jimmy's in the comment. I love that dude. The guy that did Murph 365. That guy's a monster.
So that's considered fat shaming right there. That lady is basically, by showing the before and after, she's suggesting that being overweight is unhealthy, which could hurt someone's feelings, which Instagram doesn't want.
I guess.
Fucking believable.
I had a troll account commenting on one of my posts a while back and messaging me, calling me a fat phobic piece of shit because I was doing the weight loss thing. And
what is fat phobic? What does that word mean?
Afraid of being fat, like
it sounds
like fat.
It sounds healthy, maybe.
Yeah. Yes.
Fat phobic. Why wouldn't you want to be like? I'm afraid of being bitten by spiders. What is fat? Oh, phobia of fatness. Obesophobia is an intense, overwhelming fear of gaining weight.
Yeah, and sure. Yeah.
Irrational fear.
Irrational.
There's nothing irrational about me. I'm terrified of being 450 pounds again.
Me too. I'm terrified of me being 450 pounds.
But, yeah, there's and because of that, I found out there's like different levels of fatness. I don't know if you guys know that.
No, tell me.
Like obese, super obese, like that.
Yeah, even better than that. There's like, damn, I wish I could remember them.
Morbidly obese.
No, it's like woke terms. So it's like super fat. I think they have a super fat, or something like that. You know, it sounds like a superhero or something. It was like the fatness scale or some shit. It's wild. The stuff that you can find.
Oh, there's a comedy. Oh, God, I wish you could just type in woke fat scale. Maybe you can.
Social justice comes for obesity.
5 levels of fatness.
That might be it.
Hey, when I was a kid, they had a section that I think I would even shop in, my mom, and it was called Husky.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? I didn't like
Yep.
that so much. I didn't like that
Husky.
as a kid. I didn't like that so much.
Yeah, the fatness spectrum. There it is. Small fat, mid fat, super fat, and infinifat. That one's my favorite.
Wow, infinifat.
Yeah, I was previously super fat.
Wow, infinifat sounds like you've gone past the point of no return.
It sounds like a superhero that comes and eats all the McDonald's cheeseburgers so nobody else can have them.
The thing is at least for me, like I don't really care. Like I don't look. I know that there's a lot of people who look at fat people and they're like, that's gross. Like I fucking love humans and I love the bodies and I love going to the beach and looking at all the skinny and fat people. I fucking love it. I'm excited to go to the beach and just see all the bodies.
Yeah.
But it's not. I even see fat people that I think are fucking hot. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me, but the older you get, the less attractive it is because the older people don't hold the weight as well. But fuck, it's just you're gonna die. Like you're gonna die early. You're gonna die prematurely. So
how many morbidly obese people do you see at 60 years old? Like that's not a thing.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like it's
none. I see none. You're right. I see none. Right.
It's that's not a thing. You don't get past most morbidly obese. Most aren't gonna make it past their 50s.
Wow.
So like,
and the truth is all the real old motherfuckers you see are like just skinny.
Yeah.
Like really skinny.
Yeah.
Like you see a 90-year-old dude, and especially if he's spry still, he's skinny.
Yeah.
He's not even buff.
Yep.
Yeah, my mom's probably gonna live forever. She does CrossFit and she got skinny. She looks great.
Yeah.
Sometimes I see her.
She's fit. She's not skinny. She's fit.
Yeah. Sometimes I see her. It looks like she's reversing her aging.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna catch her.
We'll get rid of that midsection with some of those gummies. Get you
Yeah.
some of those.
Yeah. Send me some
gummies.
God.
That's all you need. You can sit on the couch, you can watch TV, you can eat McDonald's and do all that other stuff, and as long as you take the gummies, man, you're set.
Danny, so when you were sitting in your car, you got there why did you get there an hour early that day? That your first day of CrossFit?
Because I knew I was gonna fight myself.
What do you mean?
I knew I would have to talk myself into going in.
So you needed the hour, maybe. You're saying if you would have gone there 5 minutes before, and what was that if you would have gone 5 minutes before the class would have started, and then you'd have been like, okay, now I'm not going in.
I probably would have drove right by the gym and gone to fucking Wendy's.
Did Ben see? Had you ever met Ben Smith before then?
Yeah, I think we've met at some point. We've been Facebook friends since like 2012. So at some point somewhere around Chesapeake, he went to Great Bridge High School. I went to Hickory High School, so we were like high school rivals. So maybe baseball or something. I'm not sure.
So you know that there's this dude in your town who's one of the fittest human beings who's ever walked on the planet, and you're like, okay, I guess I'm going to go to that gym.
If you're going to go to one, right? Go to the one with the best there. Yeah.
Good point.
And then so that day when you go in, do you go in and you have to go to the front desk and fill out a waiver and you're doing all that? Yep.
There's a in the evening there's a little guy about your height that stands behind the desk, Steve.
Yeah. Sounds like a good dude.
He's a great dude. He was the reason I came back the next day.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, I legit came out of trying the workout, and he said, "How'd you like it?" I said, "I don't know if this is for me." That was miserable. And he said, "We do the Friday Night Lights. Come check that out tomorrow. Just come hang out." And they were doing Friday Night Lights for 21.2, I think.
And when he's saying that to you, he's making eye contact with you, and it's not like a fucking recording. He's like, "Hey, I fucking see you, Danny."
100%.
Big and flexy. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Like, I see you. Like, come back.
Yeah.
Well,
he said-
it was kind of smart too, because he was like, come back and see the community and the people that'll be around at the support. So it wasn't like, come back and you're gonna like tomorrow's workout, it'll be easier or something. He was like, well, just come check out the people and the support you'll get here, right?
Yeah, he's come hang out. It wasn't even like a come workout, it was come hang out.
Yep.
And yeah, I came back and I walked in the gym and it was like 5:30. So they were already doing heats of 21.2. And so people were working out and everybody's around them going batshit crazy, cheering them on. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I can do this. This is.
Yeah.
What did you wear your first day? I know that's an issue with giant people. Like, they don't know what the fuck to wear to the gym. Like, shit, what am I gonna wear?
I wore like an Under Armour compression shirt underneath like a 4X t-shirt. At the time I was
like to strap down all your fat.
Yeah, at the time
skin.
I was in like a 3X t-shirt, so I wore a 4X, so it was like really baggy over top of wearing the compression shirt, and then wore shorts.
And then you go back the next day.
Yeah.
And that was it. Those first 2 days after that, you were just in.
Dude, I was hooked. I went home that night. I watched like the old games documentaries. I watched Sevan behind the scenes. I ordered some nanos online and some Metcons.
Fully indoctrinated.
I'm sorry about the Metcons, but good job on the nanos.
I was sorry about the Metcons too. But and then
your feet are too wide for the Metcons. Sorry, I know that's off
way
topic.
too wide.
Yeah, mine too.
I only wear the Nano 10s because they have a really wide toe box, and I love them. But yeah, Krypton's community is like it's stupid how incredible it is. Everybody there wants everybody else to be the best version of themselves, and they're going to push you to be it. And it's such an awesome thing to be a part of. And yeah, I was hooked, man. I ordered a case of Fit Aid. I mean, I was done.
Yeah. Hey, do you own your own jump rope?
Actually, I don't.
Oh, you pussy.
I know. So I've been on RX Smart Gear like 20 times looking at which one that I want to get. And
after the show, if you don't have your own jump rope, geez Louise, you're not even I travel with the jump rope everywhere. I don't use it.
but
I got it.
I do have
I got it. I mean, I faked that shit.
Amazon jump rope. I can't I can't pull the trigger on buying like an expensive one right now.
Oh yeah. Hey, yeah, and to be honest, like mine have been given to me over the years because I was they are expensive.
Yeah,
but you got to have one. It's part of the you got to have it.
It's part of the gear. You like I got the
shoes, Fit Aid, jump rope.
Yeah, I got the bag and the Alex Smith grips and the knee sleeves. You're not a CrossFitter if you don't have grips hanging from your bag, right?
So true.
What about surgery, Danny? Did you ever think about having surgery?
Dude, so right before we moved to Oregon, I had actually gone through the entire process. I was gonna have the sleeve gastrectomy, where they remove part of your stomach and just make the stomach smaller. I didn't want to do the whole gastric bypass. My mom had gastric bypass probably 15 years ago. And it like wrecked her, man. She's still, if she eats something greasy, she'll get sick and stuff. Like the gastric bypass is crazy. But yeah, I was real close to doing the sleeve gastrectomy, I think it's called. But I got injured at work in 2017, and I was out of work for 2 years trying to settle a case with workers' comp, because when I got injured, the little shitty company I was working for fired me. And then said, we're not going to pay you workers' comp. But I had an opportunity to go work at this company in Portland. And so it was like, hey, I can stay and get this surgery, or I can go back to work, and I'd already been out of work for three years, I think. So I was ready to go back to work. At this point, that was probably a big reason I got up to 450 pounds for those 3 years.
How did you hurt yourself at work?
I was picking an exhaust bellow up, and I tore a couple of ligaments and stuff in my left shoulder.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. I had to get like biceps tenodesis, slap tear repair. They had to put some cartilage in. I had a lot of bone on bone stuff going on. It was bad.
God, I
like,
loved all those words: bone on bone, slap tear. What was the thing you picked up? I like that. I don't even know what that is, but I like that too.
It was a
what?
SSDG exhaust bellow. So
SSDG exhaust pillow.
Bellow.
Yeah, bellow.
There you go.
Yeah,
What is it? That's an exhaust pipe on a boat. What is that?
Yeah, so it's for like a diesel generator, standby service diesel generator on a ship, and it's like you fit the pipe all the way out the ship, and then there's this last piece that goes in. It's like it can flex because when it heats up, it needs to expand, and then when it cools down, it needs to contract.
Yeah, I have one of those. I have one of those when it heats up, it expands. Why didn't you get the surgery? What made you just kept thinking about how it fucked your mom up, or why didn't you do it?
Because I had to take the job in Portland. It was, hey, you got to move out here now, or you're not going to get the job.
So just by accident, you didn't get it.
Yep, I was 100% going to get it. Like I was scheduled for surgery probably two months later.
Look at Caleb. Where is Caleb? Where the fuck is Caleb? How the fuck is he in? Yeah, you're not. What the fuck are you doing? I was like, who's this guy? Whisper.
I mean, there was
I was about to fuck that dude up. That's my homeboy, Caleb, talking shit to me. Look at how you getting there.
There was a point where I remember having a conversation with a friend, a really good buddy of mine that he's like, you probably should lose some weight. And I'm like, look, man, I've tried everything. I just can't lose it. I'm going to have to get surgery. I remember a point where I'm just medically not possible of losing weight. And in actuality, what it was is I was just a lazy piece of shit.
But you fully believed that at that time that you just weren't capable of losing weight, and you fully
100%.
believed like I tried everything, and you were
I told people that I tried everything. I've worked out, I've dieted, blah blah blah.
But none of that was really true. Like you knew you hadn't really actually given it your all, or at that time.
Yeah, not 100%. You know what I mean? The diets I used to do were so drastic, right? Like I would cut out everything for a month, and then after a month, you're just going to binge everything. So it's
right. No longevity.
You got to find something that you can. And a lot of people ask me, you got to find something that you can do for the rest of your life, because it's not. Diets are temporary. A lot of people are like, oh, I need to lose 40 pounds, so I'm going to do keto. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as you stop keto, you're going to put the weight back on. So you got to find something that you can do for the rest of your life, something that you can sustain for the rest of your life, because it needs to be a lifestyle change to really make it last.
Yeah.
When you say you went through all the steps of the surgery, you'd gone to the doctor, you'd done there's meetings and shit you have to do, right? And
yeah, you have to go to group therapy classes to talk about weight loss, and then you have to do a 6 appointments with a dietitian, and so you have to attempt to lose weight on your own, and you have to log all the stuff that you eat. And all I did was just log certain shit, and I didn't log the other stuff that I was eating. I'm like, look, I'm dieting, but I'm not losing weight.
Is the whole process bullshit, or is it legit, or is it just like going through the strokes to get the surgery? It's just a charade. Is it a charade or a charade, whatever that word is?
Yeah, it's bullshit. Me and my wife were both going to do it, and she actually started the nutrition stuff. You have to be a certain weight to qualify. So either you have to be a certain weight, like a certain BMI, or you have to be a little bit lower BMI and then have another health problem. So if you're a BMI of 35 and have sleep apnea, you might qualify. But if you're a BMI of 40 or above, you just qualify no matter what. So she started the diet.
Fuck. Yeah. Holy fuck. So you could accidentally lose some weight in the diet and then lose your chance to do the surgery?
That's what happened to my wife. She did the diet. Gosh. And they said they legitimately told her, if you want the surgery, you have to gain weight back.
Holy shit.
Hey, when Gary Roberts tried to get on The Biggest Loser, do you know who Gary Roberts is? He's been on the show a few times.
Yeah, I watched him the other day. He's the Killing the Fat Man, right?
Yeah. He tried to get on The Biggest Loser, and he was I think 290 at the time or something. And they told him he needed to put on 50 more pounds and then come back.
Yep. Too small. I had a friend in high school, a buddy of mine, Mike. We tried to do The Biggest Loser too. It was 2 or 3 years out of high school, and we were both right at 300 pounds, so we didn't weigh enough.
I mean, I could understand being the producer of the show and thinking that, but to tell someone to put on more weight is, come on, man.
That show's awful, man. They don't do reunions, and it's because everybody gets fat again because like I was talking about, they do such drastic changes in such a short period of time that, you know, they're working out 4, 5, 6 hours a day and then eating only the shit they're allowed to. But then when they go home, nobody can sustain that unless you're, you know, a sponsored athlete that gets to work out every day. Nobody can sustain that. So they put it all back on. So don't have
do you know anyone who's had the surgery successfully? Like where, like you said, it fucked your mom up. Like Gary Roberts did a piece on it the other many years ago about a woman he met, and she said she regretted having it too because she has to take these pills the rest of her life because the part of the intestine that they cut out absorbed like nutrients or something, and she can no longer do that.
Yeah, the gastric bypass is really tough. Like my mom's kept most of her weight off. I think it's probably been, I was in high school, I think, when she got it. So it's probably been 15 years. And she's kept most of her weight off, but, yeah, she deals with like, you know, eating some greasy food and she's sick for like hours, like throwing up, diarrhea, because it just tears her intestines up.
Fuck.
It's wild. It's wild. Cause I mean, they cut part of your intestine out and they reroute your intestine to this little tiny pouch that they make. And they just fuck your digestive tract up. And I just don't, it's wild.
Wow.
This guy right here, Jim.
Yeah, that's Jim. Yeah. That's the 365 Murph guy.
Yeah. So tell me about your relationship with him. You went and fucked with his Murph thing. You're crazy.
So
I wouldn't go within 1,000 miles of that dude. I like it that he just is on the show and lives on the other side of the country from me. He scares me.
He saw my TikTok video of me doing 22.2, the RX one, and he was, you know, commented that it fired him up. He was, you know, I think he even told me that he was close to not doing Murph. Like he was just, you know, after a couple 100 days or something, like he was really starting to fuck with him. And then he saw me, like, giving it everything, and it fired him back up to keep going. So I did a Murph by myself here. I did a couple of them. My house is exactly 1 mile from Krypton.
Okay.
So I can run my mile of the Krypton, do all the rounds of shit there, and then run home. And it's like a perfect Murph.
And fucking fall right down in the shower.
Yep. And so
hey, that last mile of Murph is batshit crazy.
Dude.
It's so fucking nuts.
Yeah, and the mile
it's
here,
horrible.
It goes over a
but
highway.
But good, horrible.
You got to come up a hill. So after, it was bad.
Have you ever done it with the vest?
Yeah, I did it this year with the vest, and the video that I made, I did it with the vest.
I've never done it with the vest.
Wow.
So I scale the pull ups. I do inverted rows, but I do it with the vest.
And so you how close does he live to you?
Probably 3 hours. He's up in like eastern shore of Maryland, so it's like right up the eastern shore of Virginia, which is, you know, like 2.5, 3 hours from me.
So you just text him or call him and like, hey dude, I'm that guy. Can I come up and do Murph with you one day? He
invited me. He reached out and was like, hey, come do a Murph with me sometime or whatever. And I never got up there while he was doing the Murph. But I ended up having to go to Philly for work recently. And so the way I drove to Philly was up the Eastern Shore. I went up to Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel and came up the Eastern Shore. And I told him, hey, I'm coming up. I'm going to stop by, drop in. And so we did he's doing 365 Hero WOD right now. So we did a Hero WOD together. And then that guy is built different, bro, because we did a Hero WOD, and he's like, first I did my stuff that I needed to do for the day for Krypton. So I did my weightlifting and I did my little WOD, and then he's like, all right, let's do this Hero WOD. So we do that. He's like, hey, I want to keep moving. You want to do something else? And so then we do another WOD, and it's like, it was like, and it was something simple too, like wall balls and skiing. But it was,
oh god,
he does 15 cals on the ski while I'm doing 15 wall balls. So it was like 5 rounds, and you just alternate. There's no stopping. Right after the Hero WOD, the dude he is built different, man.
Hey, were you sore as shit after training with him?
And, dude, it takes a lot for me to get sore now.
Hey, are you really strong from being 450 pounds? Like, can you deadlift 300 pounds?
I deadlift 425.
Holy shit.
And
Holy shit.
right now, I think I squat 315.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. How close are you to getting a pull-up?
I can do them banded. I use like 2 green bands, and I can do one. So I still got a little ways to go.
When you're warm, what's your negative look like? Like, can you hold your chin over for a count of 3? 1, 2, 3 before it rips you down?
Yeah, I can do jumping pull-ups, and I come down pretty slow. That's one of the things I do to try and get close to doing them.
I think I'm such a huge proponent of negatives. I don't want you to like do them cold and fuck yourself up, but man, I feel like negatives like
yeah.
I
Just
feel strong after I do negatives.
Holding that position, gets those muscles that you need to do a pull-up and get some working. So yeah.
When you were sitting in front of the place for an hour, do you remember that the final thought before you opened the car door? Was it like, hey, don't be a pussy, or hey, just do it this once and I'll let you go and you don't ever have to do it again, or hey, you can buy ice cream after this? Or
no, I call myself a fat piece of shit.
Yeah, just going hard.
Get out of the fucking car. Quit being a bitch. Yeah. I've heard something the other day. People say it's not that simple, but like it really is that simple. Just go and do the fucking thing. It's weight loss is. I say it's a simple thing, right? Losing weight is simple. It's not easy, but it is simple. It's a very simple formula, but it's not easy to do. You just got to do the work. That's all it is. Motivation is horse shit, right? Discipline is what matters. You just got to show up. And if you show up, and
matter. I did not want to do this podcast this morning. I was so fucking tired.
Yeah.
This is the most tired I've been. Like I've never not wanted to do a podcast thing. And this morning I woke up, I was so fucking tired. Yeah. And I'm so glad I did it. It's just discipline.
Yep.
Yeah, great shit's not going to happen myself. Hey, you talk about a sustainable diet. What would a psychologist, is that sustainable talk? Is that I think it is. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I'm guessing that there's some psychologist out there who's like, hey, that's not sustainable talk. But is that, I mean, do you still use that talk?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So
let's go, asshole.
Yeah. Right now, our movement of the month is 500 meter row for time. So the faster you do a 500 meter row. Wow. And so we tested at the beginning of the month, and then we trained through the month, and then tested again at the end. And so like I'm sitting on the rower, pulling for dear life. And somebody comes over and they're like, you're doing really good, man. And I'm like, no, fuck that shit. And so then the coach that knows me really well, he's like, don't talk to him like that. So I think it's different for everybody. Some people want to be encouraged and coddled, but me, the thing that's going to fire me up, you need to call me a fat piece of shit. Especially if we do running.
Sally's workouts. 55 and she's rowing faster than you, Danny. What the fuck? Like that? Would that work?
Yes. Yeah. I ended up rowing a 134 500 at the beginning. So I'm like terrified how I'm going to do.
Now you're going to beat that.
How am I going to beat that? Yeah.
132, baby.
Yeah.
So that scarred that makes me happy to hear that. So that scarred you. The first 500 damage, like mentally scarred you.
Yeah.
You're terrified of the next 30 days. What's going to happen?
Yeah. I'm machines are my thing. Like if it's a machine workout, I'm going to beat you, and I'll die on it. I'll die on it before I lose too.
Hey, when you do that, I don't go 100% very often. Like not very often at all. But in the last, I would say 2 months, I've been going as hard as I can, at least once a week. And I noticed it felt like I started CrossFit all over again. I noticed some immediate adaptations in my body. I was like, holy fuck, everything all my clothes got a little bit tighter. I just feel good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you notice that after you do a hard fucking pull, as opposed to I just need to get through this Murph. But when you do those 500 meters, are you pretty wow, something happened?
Yep. Yeah. I try. Yeah. I'm usually pretty conscious about giving it 100%. And like I said earlier, the guys that I work out with, Will and Phil, they're really good about pushing me to just beat yesterday. You know what I mean? Be 1% better than yesterday. And for me, if I'm gonna do it, like, why am I gonna half-ass? What's the point? Like, I've never understood like shaving reps or anything like that. Like, I don't know what if Ben prescribes a workout that's 21, 15, 9. Why am I going to come in and do it 15, 9, 6? Like, what is that? How is that benefiting me in any kind of way? It's not, right. I'm coming here to get better. I'm coming here to get fitter. I'm coming here to get leaner. So I'm just going to do the work, and I'm going to give it 100% every time.
What about when you go on these trips? Do you visit other CrossFit boxes, like a work trip, or do you just work out in your hotel? What do you do?
Yeah, I visit other boxes, and sometimes it's pretty funny. I had to work in Mobile, Alabama for a little while, and I went to a gym down there, and I walked in with a Krypton shirt on, and there was like a 23-year-old kid behind the desk, and he's like, you here to do a class? And I said, yeah, man. And he said, you go to Krypton? Isn't that Ben Smith's gym? I said, yeah, it is. And he's like, well, I think we would probably need to put you in an intro class or something because you don't look like you do CrossFit.
Shut the fuck up.
Fuck.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up.
I was like,
oh my gosh.
I looked at him. I said, you know what, man? There's a gym down the road. I think I'll just hit that one up. Yeah.
Oh my God. Hey, I saw your girlfriend out in the parking lot. It looks like she needs to spend 30 minutes with me. Like, you ain't serving us her good enough. I'd have fucked that dude up and talk some mad shit to him.
Yeah.
I'm going back to your mom's house, you asshole. That is nuts.
It was kind of early.
I feel now I don't feel bad for that girl calling me fat yesterday. Holy shit.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. He said, you don't look like you do CrossFit. And my mentality.
What was the name of that gym? What was the name of that gym?
I can't remember. And the funny thing is, I called the next day, and the lady was like, "Yeah, we're selling it in 2 days." So I think they sold it to somebody else. So it might be a different name now. But I'm guessing the kid was probably just in a. Looking back, I should have stayed and buried everybody, because I've been to some gyms and done some workouts where it makes me feel really fit because we do a lot of volume at Krypton, a lot.
Right.
And the weights we do with like dumbbells, like guys are.
He didn't even ask you. He wasn't like, hey, like I would have been more tactful. I'd have been like, hey, how long you been doing CrossFit?
Yeah.
How long you been at Ben Smith's?
Right. Yeah. But
those is Ben really a nice guy?
Yeah.
Like he seems on the videos. Like I'd like to feel you out a little bit.
Yeah.
What's your favorite machine? You know what I mean? Like kind of like.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just a woke joke. Maybe I'm too sensitive. But just to say that to you is just fucking.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it was early on in my CrossFit thing too, so I was like, I'm just gonna go somewhere else. And
wow, that pisses me off. I hope Athena's not listening to the show because she tells me stories like that, and I don't want to believe them.
Yeah,
I don't want to believe that there's people that.
The one I went to after that though was great. I went to the latest class there, and I think the owner was the only guy there. And so he and I did some like extra work together, and then we did like a deadlift ladder and stuff, and it was pretty cool. So I ended up going back a couple times with him. So it worked out in my favor.
And that was in Mobile too.
Yeah.
What was the name of that gym?
CrossFit Roadhouse.
CrossFit Roadhouse. Oh, that's a good name.
Yeah. He's and the owner.
Roadhead.
God,
the owner's a good dude.
I wasn't thinking that, but
that's
now I am.
Yeah, I didn't think of it until now. But
thank you, good job.
Great. No, it's just me.
I was
polluted
Patrick
Sousa's
Swayze,
brain.
okay.
Poor Sousa was such a nice boy when I met him.
I was thinking like Patrick Swayze Roadhouse.
Me too.
Hey, whatever, man. Whatever floats your boat is.
There are some really cheesy fucking CrossFit gyms names. CrossFit Krypton, CrossFit Roadhouse,
CrossFit Cowtown.
Yeah, I just love it that yeah. I think Ben's been on the show now 2 or 3 times. I have never done like a sit down interview with him. It's always just like, hey, we're just talking shit about specific game stuff. I'm like picking his brain, but I should have him on the show and like hear his whole story.
He could be an affiliate show.
He's a good dude. He's a really, really good dude. And the thing about Ben is like, I remember, he is very intentional, like about remembering people's names and things like that, like to make them feel at home as soon as they walk through the door. And he doesn't like, he's not like, oh, I won the CrossFit Games and I'm famous or whatever. He's just a normal dude that like wants to make everybody better. Like his genuine passion is just like helping people become healthy and fit and he just really loves what he does, and he is such a great dude.
Does his dad work out at the gym?
His dad's a beast.
Yeah, I remember his dad being a very nice man,
He's
and extremely strong.
Super nice. The whole family is like Dane, his youngest brother, and his wife Emily. They're both coaches, and they're awesome. Alec has been fantastic to me. I helped him hook up a sauna at his house, and he just like showered me with Noble stuff. Go online, pick out shoes and a bag and all sorts of there you go, Jared. Ben cleans the floor, man. They're just all like good, hardworking people that just care about the members there so much.
Hey, is Leslie a man or a woman?
Yeah, that's Les. He was with us for quite a while. He's in the Navy. He just ended up moving up to Annapolis.
Leslie can fight too.
Yeah, so me and Les were workout partners at 7 p.m. quite often until he moved.
Because I thought it was a woman, but a woman doesn't talk like this. My man pushes it daily. I've never heard a woman say that.
Yeah. We call him
my man.
It's funny. So like I was talking about earlier,
Travis says that, and he's from West Virginia. Travis Bajan says it. My man.
So he's a really good runner, Les is, and every time we do running workouts, we would always pass each other, and he'd be like, "Oh, you're doing a really great job, Dan. Good job." I'm like, "Dude, I'm running like a 4-minute 400. I'm not doing a good job. Like, tell me I'm a fat piece of shit." Be honest with me. So from then on, I'd call him a geriatric fuck, and he'd call me a fat piece of shit, and we would just push each other to the limit, man. I think, but like I said, everybody's different, right? And I think that's why I work out at 7 p.m. because we're a little bit crass compared to the rest of the folks there. But we all really care about each other, and it's a great group. It is a great group.
Have you ever gone to a class that you didn't want to go to because you knew it was important for someone else to see you go? I mean, in the gym, like Leslie and Phil are going to expect me to be there. Like, I don't want to let them down.
Yeah. Like Saturday workouts, usually it's like it's always a partner workout, and it's always like 40-45 minutes long. So I love going because I got my good friend that I had the conversation with about I had to have surgery to lose weight. He started coming about once a week. And
shit!
I make sure to show up when he's there. Him and his wife.
Yeah, that's exactly the kind of story I was looking for. Wow.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, I already worked out today, but he's going. I went to the morning class, but he's going to the evening. I'm going just because that's my homie. I'm going to support him.
Got to be there, 100%.
Got to be, yeah.
I'm going to be there, and I'm going to push him, and he's going to push me, man.
Wow, that's really awesome. I don't think people like you who or anyone who doesn't fit in the box. And I was thinking of my mom specifically. I don't think my mom realizes the contribution she's making to her box and to humanity.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, and no matter how much she could think she knows, she doesn't. It's and I think the same is with you. I don't think you. I mean, I could just only think back to the 450-pound you, and maybe you do know. Maybe it's me who doesn't know, but like, did you have a role model at 450? Was there someone you were like, oh, that dude did it? Like, do you know this guy, Matt Bickle? He was on the CrossFit podcast. I want to say he was over 500 pounds.
Yeah,
he hangs with Sam Dancer. Really fucking cool dude. Huge fucking guy. He's a fucking giant tall too.
Tall guy.
Yes.
And his Instagram name's like Bike something, right?
Maybe. I I thought it was Biccolo. Oh
yeah. It's like BIKE. Yeah. I know you're talking about. He's
Like, did you know him before you started on the journey? Was there like,
nope.
Yeah, that's why it's so important. There's people like you fucking blazing the trail ahead.
I'll tell you actually. So I was in.
Yeah, this dude's
Yep.
cool as shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to blow this dude up, but you should reach out to this guy. This is a dude worth knowing. He's one of those people I'm so happy that I got to meet.
Yeah,
I've seen him with the Buttery Bros and he seems, I would love to meet him. I've watched a lot of his stuff, and I feel like we have a lot of the same mentality. And
Yeah, love just pours off this guy. Like when you see this dude, you just hug him. Like this dude is cool as shit.
Yeah, so when I was in San Diego, I went to I think Anytime Fitness is where I went my first time, and it was like I walked in and I went and got on the treadmill, and then I came down because I used to lift weights a little when I was in like high school. Right out of high school, I lifted weights for a little bit, but nothing.
Just
serious.
the normal stuff like bench, back and buys, the lat machine. Yeah, okay. That's cool shit.
And so when I first started, I walked on the treadmill for a little bit, and I came down, and there was this guy down there that he had like long hair, long ponytail, looked like a surfer dude, and he just seemed like a cool guy. So I was walking around, and he looked at me and said, "Hey, are you looking for something specific?" And I was like, "Well, I'm huge, and I really just don't know where to start." And I will never forget it, man. He looked at me and said, "Just start. Pick anything, pick it up, do it." And he was a trainer there, and we ended up working together in San Diego like 3 times a week while I was living there. And that guy really, I don't think he knows it, but he had a big impact on me. His name was Will, and he had a really dry sense of humor like me, and he would always say, "Where there's a will, there's a way."
So tell me about that when he engaged you, that first engagement.
Dude,
there was something in that got you.
100%. Yeah, he walked up to me, and that was the time that I really remember it like clicking. When I went to the gym because I was bored at this point, right? It wasn't like I'm ready to lose a bunch of weight or whatever. I just wanted to do something with my time outside of my job. And so I was walking around looking at the stuff, and he said, he looked at me, "Just start." And okay, let's do it. Let's just start. And so,
did he stay with you? Was he like, "Hey, come over here"?
Yeah, he was like, "Hey, why don't you grab a kettlebell and do some swings like this?" Or those yellow bands, I think they're called TRX bands.
Yeah.
He showed me a lot of exercises on those, and then after that, it was like off to the races.
And he's just some kid who worked there. He wasn't like you didn't pay him for that personal training. He's just some kid who's like, "Hey, I'll help this dude out," and he worked there.
He like helped start that one. I think he moved there for it. He came from like New York or whatever. He does like bodybuilding and stuff. So he's a super fit dude, and he was just like really mellow and chill. He's a surfer and just an awesome guy, man. And he I think he saw that once I started doing it, I had like a drive in me, and he fed off of it. So yeah, it was.
Dude, I love that story. I just love how people can just fucking just random fucking dude in a gym can just like change someone else's life, and like that's the snowball going down the hill.
2 words, like literally 2 words out of his mouth completely changed my life. Like it, I wouldn't be in CrossFit without "just start" being said to me, and I can. Like, it's just such a vivid memory. I can see his like facial expressions saying it.
How about your wife? Does she ever tell you, whisper in your ear, or your mom and dad, "I'm proud of you"? Do they tell you they're proud of you?
Yeah.
Is that huge?
Yeah. I'm not real emotional, touchy feely kind of person. So yeah, it is huge. I know I don't show it enough, but it is. And my wife's really good. My wife's really good about pictures. Like, she takes a lot of pictures. And so I'm really grateful that because I don't like pictures. I don't like videos. And so me posting on Instagram is like really out of my comfort zone. But if I can be the person that is that just start for somebody else, then it's all worth it to me. But she tells me pretty often, and she will be really good about sending me old pictures with like a recent picture next to it and being like, "Dude, look at this," pretty often. So,
God, she sounds like a fucking angel.
She's great, man. I I work, she stays at home with our daughter, and you know, she does the homeschool with her, and then they do the dance. You know, she's like all in as a mom, which is just she's young. We did it kind of backwards. We had a kid and then got married.
Me too.
So we're like a little, you know, not typical that people end up lasting, but yeah, she adores that little girl, and it's not typical for somebody her age. She just turned 30. So
she had a kid when she was 20.
She was 19 when she had Aubrey.
Wow. Is Aubrey your daughter also? It's both your daughters.
Yeah.
Okay. The way you were talking, I wasn't sure.
No, it's fun. So I had a dance mom come up to me one time.
Are you the real dad?
She said, she even worse. She came up to me. She's like, "It's really awesome of you to step up and take care of her like you're right." Because I mean, blonde hair.
Do you CrossFit? Are you a real dad?
That's what I was gonna say. That's right up there with that other one.
Yeah, blonde hair, blue eyes, and I mean, she's a absolutely drop dead gorgeous kid, right? But yeah, so I get it, but yeah, it was.
Dude, when I have the beard, I'm the kid's granddad, and it is fucking nuts.
That's funny.
It is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I'll be out with my mom with a beard, and people will think that we're the grandparents.
Yeah.
And my mom thinks it's funny. I'm like, no, Mom, that means they think we're married. None of it's good any way you look at it. It's all fucked up. Why are you guys homeschooling your daughter? Why isn't she in public school?
So it started because of dance, because she's it starts pretty early in the afternoon for her. So it was tough, like getting her from school to dance. And then we also saw that she was doing a lot better with the ability to, like, the program she does, she like sits down for like 20, 30 minutes, does like a lesson or two in 20 or 30 minutes. And then she can go and run around and do some dance stuff, go stretch and work on her technique, and then come back and do some more school. You know, so she does 3 or 4 hours of school a day, as opposed to sitting in a classroom for 8 hours, and she gets 2 or 3 days work done in that little bit of time. So it just works out better for her. I think she's got a little ADD like her dad does. So it works out good for her.
Good on you. I could think of 1,000 reasons why it's the fucking best thing to do. You're gonna have as long as you keep your kid away from, don't get your kid a cell phone, you're gonna have a fucking great kid. You got her a cell phone already? Here's Coke Zero in your cell phone, young lady.
Well, so you know,
I'm not judging you. Yes, I am.
She's a dancer 3 or 4 hours a day, so it's nice to have the ability to communicate if necessary.
My kids would do horrible shit if they had a cell phone.
Yeah.
Have you thought about taking the Danny? Have you thought about taking the L1?
Yeah. So I think we've talked about it before, and
on this show.
Well, yeah, we've discussed it either in text or whatever. But dude, that's
I was like shit. My memory is really bad.
That's like my big next goal is the L1. I wanted to take it. They have one actually in Virginia Beach at the end of this month and next weekend, next Saturday and Sunday. And I was hoping to take it, but you know, we're a one income family, and I'm actually transitioning jobs in about a month. So
don't use that word.
Transitioning.
Transitioning.
Okay. I'm quitting my current job and
right.
taking a government job that I applied for 2 years ago. So
if I'm running fucking CrossFit Media, but which it doesn't exist anymore, but if I'm running CrossFit, I fucking go. I film with you one day at CrossFit Krypton. I film with you one day at home, and then I put you in the L1. I give it to you for free, and I film with you at the L1. And I let people know that the L1 is the operating manual for the human genome. It is the way to fucking everyone must take it to unfuck you of what you've learned from television, and I just fucking milk you for content.
Milk me.
Milk him.
Call him up and
if you work at CrossFit, fucking get this guy into an L1 and show that fucking a 300-pound dude can take the L1.
Mm-hmm. So it's funny. They actually use, you know, they post out a workout of the day. So they used a picture of me a couple months ago for the workout of the day.
I would fucking work the fuck out of you. I'd manipulate the fuck out of you and sell 1,000 L1s off your back.
I would absolutely
let you be whored out like that.
You whore me out. I'll do anything for free shit.
Yeah, it's such an important message.
But I think it's great. So I was researching L1. I found one a little bit later in the year. I think I might do. It's in Cookeville. So I figured, hey, maybe I can go meet Rich or something. But they have the training manual. It's actually sitting next to me. You can get the whole L1 training manual for free on the internet.
Yes.
And I think it's just wild that people don't know those resources are there. And so you can literally read the content of the L1. I mean, not get the instruction and stuff, which is very important, but you can read that content and then have it for free.
Yeah. It's even
Greg used to start the L1. Sorry, Susan. Greg used to start the L1 in 2006. And he would be like, he would teach the whole thing. And he would say, you guys have all paid $1,000 to be here for what any 12-year-old could figure out how to get for free on the internet. That's how we would start it. It was fucking nuts. But of course, when you're there and you're with those trainers, like, don't get me wrong, read the manual and you're at the 99-yard line. But that extra 1 yard that those L1 trainers give you, like, I mean, you'll be in there with like Lisa Ray or Chuck Carswell or some shit, and they'll blow your Michelle Muth, they'll blow your mind.
I'd love to learn something from Hobart, man. That guy.
Hobart, yeah.
Oh my God.
He might be retired. He's old. He might be. No, actually, he still travels. He's on the team. Yeah. If you can just be in Hobart's presence and watch him move, at least for someone like me, you'll become a better mover. Yeah. I just see him like demo the air squat or something, and I become a better mover.
It's like taking a weightlifting class with Ben. Ben does a barbell, like an Olympic lifting class on Saturdays at 10. And dude, like, I couldn't snatch to save my life. And then all of a sudden I took this one class with Ben, and he gave me one cue and everything changed. But he can just like analyze somebody's, Olympic lift and be like, hey, you should put a little more weight on the ball of your feet and look forward while you're doing your snatch. And all of a sudden, boom, snatch. I'm like, oh.
And Ben learned all that stuff back at the time where you're just sourcing it off the internet, and he's filming himself and then he's watching it and he's going back and forth. And there's something to learning it that way that really allows you to help apply it to everybody else too. So that's cool.
Yeah. He's got a like a life-size picture of the fridge in the gym, and it's really cool.
Oh, he does.
Like, yeah, it's like a sticker on the wall, and so it's like, the fridge is right there. Yeah,
that's cool.
Danny, I really appreciate you coming on, brother. Giving us 2 hours of your morning. What a awesome story. You are a chill dude, and you're making a huge impact on the world. I love it. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much for sharing your story.
And stay in touch. I mean, we have each other's phone number, obviously, and we chat in the DMs. And feel free to, but you can text me anytime, because everyone in the DMs is kind of just one person to me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's just like
it gets crazy in there sometimes, man.
Yeah. All right. Have a good one, brother. Thank you.
Right. Thanks, Danny. Appreciate it.
Cheers. 8:58 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
You feel a little more awake now?
No, I don't know. I think I just went too hard last night. I went too hard. Something.
Just crushing it down by the beach, just too much, or
I guess. I mean, well, I played hard yesterday. Yeah, I'll tell you off the air. I played really fucking hard, but I had a good time. I had an amazing time. Usually I wake up at 6 a.m. and I'm just awake. I usually wake up at 5:59 right before my alarm goes off. And oh, look, nice of you to join us. Nice shirt. With 1 minute left in the show. Peace. Are you coming on or what? No, you're not coming on. All right. Well, good to see you, Caleb. Anyway, so tomorrow we have a live call-in show in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm so looking forward to that. And I think Hiller will be here. He's in town, so I will invite him to come into the kitchen, set up his computer, so we'll be sitting side by side on the show tomorrow.
Oh, interesting. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Where you sat.
I know. And fuck, what are you doing to me? You're over here. Oh, the boys fucking love Hiller. They were dancing around. The whole thing I'm thinking was, I was like, when he shows up, I hope the boys fucking hate him.
Oh, he
I hope
was
they want
so.
nothing to do with them. Just like be like, yeah, those are my boys. Don't worry about that. And now
Well,
you're
it's
giving him
gonna
my seat at
happen.
the kitchen table. Gosh.
He's gonna end up wanting kids. He's really good with the boys too. He's gonna end up wanting kids.
Well,
I told him.
your three boys in particular will do that to you. But I think it's false advertisement because you get out there and you have a great time. And you're like, this
Right.
is so easy. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. And like, it ain't that easy. Took a lot of work to get them to where they are now.
Train those dogs.
They're
All
good
right.
boys.
I will. So you'll be here tomorrow morning with us.
Yeah.
Okay, Caleb, will you be here tomorrow morning on the live call-in show? Maybe. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed the show. I will talk to you guys soon.